we're going to rank the NFL's biggest blockbuster trades, because the Parsons trade clearly is one of them. It was one of those moments where it's like, holy crap, remember where you were. And of course, I think we've said this before. I know I have. All of our remember where you were moments now is going to be, I was scrolling my phone. That's where I was, because that's how we find out. What are the biggest blockbuster trades? Michael, you're up first.
We know what the biggest one is. Biggest one is Jerry Jones already referred to it. You saw it. Your team was a part of it. The Herschel Walker trade. Herschel Walker, Dallas Cowboys, Vikings. I just can't believe a trade like that actually happened. It sounds like a fantasy football trade that the fantasy football commissioner comes in and says, guys, what are we doing? No, we're not going to let this go. But I think that's the biggest trade of any sport, not just football, any trade I've seen in my lifetime.
It was a special time in my life. I had just started dating my wife. The Vikings had gotten Herschel Walker. It was just one of those, like, everything's working. Fortunately, the other thing worked for me much better than the Herschel Walker trade did. Because I remember feeling very good about Herschel Walker and quickly wondering, why in the hell did they do this? And then the Cowboys parlay all those picks into Super Bowl champions. And it's like, why? Raiders fans had assumed that Randy Moss had nothing left. We all assumed he had nothing left. We just assumed it was over. Bill Belichick knew otherwise. Stole Randy Moss from the Raiders for a fourth-round pick during the 2007 draft. And Randy Moss had arguably the best single receiver season ever in 2007. It's undermined a bit by the fact they didn't win the Super Bowl that year, but he was phenomenal. Through the door, he rewound the clock to 1998. He was the guy the Vikings always had, maybe better because he never had a quarterback as good as Brady. And, you know, it was so bad that Al Davis was salty about it. He thought Mike Lombardi was in on it. And, you know, but no, hey, that was fair value because we thought Randy Moss was done, and we found out otherwise once he got to New England. And again, it would be bigger if they had won a Super Bowl. They didn't, but man, it was an incredible run for a short period of time for Randy Moss in New England.
Yeah, that was a heck of a trade, fourth rounder. And the story was that Moss was so emotional when the Patriots met with him. He said, you know, I'm so grateful. I'll play for free. And Scott Pioli was the general manager at the time. And he told Belichick that, and Belichick said, okay, well, let's see if we can get him to play for free. He's like, no, Bill, we can't do that.
Drop the contract.
We really can't. Yeah, but he did. He took money off the table. He eventually got it, but he took money off the table to come to the Patriots. I will say, how about this? Another Packers one. Imagine going to the Atlanta Falcons and getting a backup quarterback who becomes a Hall of Famer. You know, their trade for Brett Favre. And you get a Hall of Fame guy, and you get a three-time MVP. That's a hell of a trade. So I'll put that one on the list, too.
I'm going to go off the board here. Gary's put a lot of great selections. What about Eli Manning for Phillip Rivers? Immediately after, the Chargers took Manning, and the Giants took Rivers, changed the Giants franchise. They were patient. Eli and Archie decided he didn't want to go to the Chargers for a variety of reasons, all stemming from the fact that the Chargers were a dysfunctional mess at the time, and they win a couple of Super Bowls, and Eli will get to the Hall of Fame at some point. That was a big trade, and that was a big deal. That was a stunner on the first day of the draft in 2004. We got time for one more, Gary, or do we go? All right, give me one more real quick, Michael.
How about a running back swap? Ultimately, it turned out to be Marshall Faulk for Edgerrin James, right? The Colts trade Marshall Faulk, and they turn around and they draft Edgerrin James. So a couple of Hall of Famers getting traded there. Worked out for the Rams, worked out for the Colts.
And one more real quickly, and this is the one that had come up in recent days, because Bears fans and Bears media, because I do a couple of spots every week on The Score in Chicago, every time Michael Parsons would come up, they would say, well, you know, the Bears got Khalil Mack. Is there a way the Bears can activate this and get Michael Parsons? That trade that sent Mack from the Raiders to the Bears was a big deal. Multiple first-round picks, other picks involved. It didn't do anything for the Bears. It didn't do anything for the Raiders. And that's the reality. You know, there can be a winner. There can be a loser. There can be two winners. There can also be two losers.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.